Hello, and welcome back. My name is Emma, and I'm here with you today from EFL USA, the channel where we help you speak practical English for life in America. Before we start, I want you to close your eyes for just 3 seconds. Imagine this. You bought a jacket 2 days ago. You get home and you realize the zipper is broken. You go back to the store to return it. The cashier looks at you and says, "Do you have your receipt?" What's the reason for the return? Would you like a refund or store credit? Can you answer that right now in English without translating in your head first? If your answer is no, not really, then this video is exactly for you. Open your eyes, because today we are going to fix that problem together, step by step, sentence by sentence, until you can walk into any store in America and handle a return, a refund, a discount question, or a simple purchase with total confidence. This channel is called EFL USA, and our mission is simple. We teach American survival English for beginners. Not English for exams. Not English for perfect grammar. English for real life. English you can use tomorrow morning, at the pharmacy, at the supermarket, on the phone, in a job interview, or right here at the checkout counter. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and tap the bell icon, because every single day we bring you a new survival situation and the exact words you need to survive it. And if you've been here before, welcome back, my friend. Let's get to work. Today, our topic is English for shopping and daily errands. This is one of the most common situations every newcomer to the United States faces, usually within the very first week. You need to buy groceries. You need to return something that doesn't work. You need to ask if there's a discount. You need to understand what the cashier is saying to you fast, without stopping the whole line behind you. And I promise you, by the end of this video, these situations will not scare you anymore. Let me introduce you to someone. Her name is Rosa. Rosa moved to the United States 3 months ago from Guatemala. She's living in a small apartment with her cousin. She's taking English classes twice a week, and like many of you watching this video right now, she understands more English than she can speak. She can read a sign. She can understand a slow sentence. But when someone speaks fast, when someone asks her a question she doesn't expect, her mind goes blank. Sound familiar? Good. Because today, you're going to walk through Rosa's story with me, and by the end, you'll have the exact words she needed, and the exact words she needed, and the exact words you need too. It's a Tuesday evening. Rosa is standing outside a big supermarket, the kind with bright lights and a huge parking lot. In her bag, she has a jacket. 2 days ago, she bought this jacket for her cousin's birthday. It was on sale. It looked beautiful, dark blue with a hood. But when she got home and opened the bag, she noticed the zipper was broken. It wouldn't close all the way. Rosa felt her stomach tighten. She needs to return it. But she has never returned anything in an American store before. In her home country, this process was different. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't know if they will give her money back or just a piece of paper. She doesn't even know if the store closes soon. Rosa takes a breath and walks in. Let's stop right here because this is where we begin our vocabulary. I want you to learn 6 words and phrases that Rosa needs right now, at this exact moment. And I want you to learn them the way I teach every word on this channel. Listen, repeat, understand, and use. Are you ready? Let's go. The first word is receipt. Receipt. This means the small piece of paper the store gives you after you pay, showing what you bought and how much you paid. Say it with me. Receipt. One more time, slowly. Receipt. Good. Here's an example. I have my receipt right here in my bag. Another example. Sorry, I lost my receipt. Now, you try. Make one short sentence with the word receipt. Out loud. Right now, pause the video if you need to. The second phrase is return policy. Return policy. This means the store's rules about bringing something back. Say it with me. Return policy. Return policy. This means simply, what are the rules for giving something back to the store? Example. What is your return policy for jackets? Another example. The return policy says 30 days. Repeat after me one more time. Return policy. The third word is refund. Refund. This means getting your money back. Say it with me. Refund. Refund. It simply means money back. Example, can I get a refund, please? Another example, I would like a full refund. Say it with me again. Refund, the fourth word is exchange. Exchange. This means trading the item for a different one, not money. Say it with me. Exchange. Exchange. It simply means changing this one for a different one. Example. I don't want a refund. I just want to exchange it for a different size. Another example. Can I exchange this for the same jacket in black? Repeat after me. Exchange. The fifth phrase is store credit. Store credit. This means money that stays inside the store that you can use later, but it's not cash in your hand. Say it with me. Store credit. Store credit. It simply means store money for later. Example. They gave me store credit instead of cash. Another example. Would you like store credit or a refund to your card? Say it with me one more time. Store credit. And the sixth word is price tag. Price tag. This is the small label on the item that shows how much it costs. Say it with me. Price tag. Price tag. Example. The price tag says $20. Another example. I couldn't find the price tag on this shirt. Repeat after me. Price tag. Beautiful. Now, let's put all 6 of these together into one short story, the way Rosa experiences it. And I want you to shadow every single sentence with me. Shadowing means you listen, and right after, in the small silence, you repeat it, using the same rhythm, the same speed. This is one of the fastest ways to train your mouth and your ear together. Ready? Here we go. Rosa walks up to the counter. The employee, a young man with a name tag that says Kevin, smiles and says, "Hi, how can I help you today?" Rosa takes the jacket out of her bag and says, slowly, "Hi, I bought this jacket 2 days ago, but the zipper is broken." Kevin nods and asks, "Okay, no problem. Do you have your receipt?" Rosa's heart beats a little faster. She reaches into her bag, and yes, she finds it. She says, "Yes, here is my receipt." Kevin looks at it and says, "Great! What would you like? A refund or an exchange?" Rosa thinks for 1 second, then says, "I would like a refund. Please." Kevin says, "Okay, that's no problem, since it's within our 30-day return policy. Let me check the price tag just to confirm the amount." He scans it and says, "All right, your refund will go back to your card in 3 to 5 business days. Would that work for you?" Rosa smiles, relieved, and says, "Yes, that works. Thank you so much." Let's shadow this whole scene one more time, faster this time, just the key lines. Do you have your receipt? Now you. Yes. Here is my receipt. Now you. Would you like a refund or an exchange? Now you. I would like a refund, please. Now you. Your refund will go back to your card. Now you. Excellent work. Do you feel that? That small feeling of, "Oh, I actually understand this now." That feeling, my friend, is exactly what we are building here, one video at a time. Now, here's something I want you to notice about Rosa's story. It wasn't scary in the end, was it? But before she walked into that store, in her mind, it felt huge. It felt like a wall. That's what happens to almost every English learner. The situation in your imagination is always worse than the situation in real life. But only if you have the right words ready in your pocket. That's the whole purpose of this channel. We're not just teaching you English. We're taking away that fear, one real situation at a time. Let me ask you something, and I really want you to answer this out loud. Right now, talking to your screen like I'm sitting right in front of you. Phew. Have you ever needed to return something in a store, in the United States, or in an English-speaking place, and you felt nervous or confused, or you just didn't do it because you didn't know what to say? Tell me out loud in one full sentence, starting with yes, one time, or no, but I'm afraid that. Go ahead, pause if you want, say it out loud. This matters more than you think, because speaking out loud, even alone, even to a video, trains your mouth muscles and your brain in a completely different way than just reading silently. Now, let's continue Rosa's evening, because her shopping trip isn't over. After returning the jacket, she decides to walk around the store and buy groceries for the week, and she wants to find something on sale because money is tight this month. This brings us to our second group of words. 6 more essential shopping phrases that you'll use almost every single week of your life in America. The first phrase in this group is on sale. On sale. This means the price is lower than usual for a limited time. Say it with me. On sale. On sale. Example. These apples are on sale this week. Another example. Is this jacket on sale? Repeat after me one more time. On sale. The second word is discount. Discount. This means a reduction in price. Say it with me. Discount. Discount. Example. Do you have any discount for students? Another example. I got a 20% discount. Say it with me again. Discount. The third word is checkout. Checkout. This is the place or the process where you pay for your items. Say it with me. Checkout. Checkout. Example. The checkout line is very long today. Another example. Meet me at the checkout in 5 minutes. Repeat after me. Checkout. The fourth word is cashier. Cashier. This is the person who takes your money and helps you pay. Say it with me. Cashier. Cashier. Example. The cashier was very friendly. Another example. Ask the cashier if they accept coupons. Say it one more time. Cashier. The fifth phrase is cash or card. Cash or card. This is a question you will hear almost every time you pay for something. Say it with me. Cash or card. Cash or card. It simply means, how are you going to pay? Example. The cashier asks, cash or card? And you answer, card, please. Repeat after me. Cash or card. And the sixth phrase is sign here. Sign here. This means please write your signature in this place. Say it with me. Sign here. Sign here. Example. Can you sign here, please? Another example. Please sign here for your receipt. Say it one more time. Sign here. Now let's put all 6 of these into a mini story too. And remember, shadow every line with me. Rosa walks over to the grocery section. She sees a sign that says, buy one, get one free above a shelf of pasta. And she smiles, because pasta is one of her favorite easy dinners. She picks up bread, milk, eggs, a small bag of coffee. At the register, the cashier, a woman wearing a blue apron, says, "Hi there, did you find everything okay?" Rosa says, "Yes, thank you. Actually, is this pasta on sale?" The cashier checks and says, "Yes, it's buy one, get one free this week." Rosa smiles and says, "Great, I'll take 2 then." After scanning everything, the cashier says, "Okay, your total is $18.40. Cash or card?" Rosa says, "Card, please." The cashier hands her the small machine and says, "Go ahead and tap or insert your card. And can you sign here, please?" Rosa taps her card, signs on the small screen, and the cashier says, "Perfect, here's your receipt, and have a great night." Rosa smiles genuinely, because this time, every single word made sense. Let's shadow the key lines one more time. Did you find everything okay? Now, you. Is this pasta on sale? Now you. Cash or card? Now you. Card, please. Now you. Can you sign here? Please. Now you. Wonderful. You're already speaking more English right now in the last few minutes than most beginners speak in an entire week, because you're not just reading, you're using your mouth, your voice, your real breath. That is what changes your brain, not silent reading. Before we move to our next scene, I want to give you a small piece of encouragement, and I want it to be specific, not generic. You just learned 12 real, Useful phrases in the last few minutes: receipt, return policy, refund, exchange, store credit, price tag, on sale, discount, checkout, cashier, cash or card, and sign here. 12. If you use even 3 of these this week in a real store, you are already ahead of where you were 15 minutes ago. That's not small. That's real progress, measured in real minutes. Now, Rosa's evening isn't quite finished yet because as she's walking toward the exit, something else happens. Something a little more stressful. She notices a small carton of milk in her bag, and she suddenly remembers she needs to check something important before she leaves the store. See, this brings us into our third group of vocabulary, and this one deals with something every single shopper needs to understand, but almost no beginner course ever teaches clearly. Expiration dates, stock, and asking for help finding things. The first word here is aisle, aisle. This is the long row between shelves in a store. Say it with me. Aisle, aisle. Example. The cereal is in aisle 5. Another example. Excuse me, which aisle has the baby formula? Repeat after me one more time. Aisle. The second phrase is expiration date. Expiration date. This tells you the last day a product is safe or fresh to use. Say it with me. Expiration date. Expiration date. Example. Can you check the expiration date on this milk? Another example. This yogurt's expiration date is next week. Say it again. Expiration date. The third phrase is out of stock. Out of stock. This means the store doesn't have any more of that item right now. Say it with me. Out of stock. Out of stock. Example. Sorry, that brand is out of stock. Another example. Is the large size out of stock too? Repeat after me. Out of stock. The fourth phrase is, excuse me. Where can I find? This is one of the most useful survival questions you will ever learn in a store. Say it with me. Excuse me, where can I find? Excuse me, where can I find? Example. Excuse me, where can I find the rice? Repeat after me one more time. Excuse me, where can I find? The fifth word is ID, as in identification. ID. Sometimes you need this to buy certain items. Say it with me. ID. ID. Example. Can I see your ID, please? Another example. You'll need your ID for this purchase. Say it again. ID. And the sixth phrase is final sale. Final sale. This means the item cannot be returned or exchanged. Once you buy it, it's yours. Say it with me. Final sale. Final sale. Example. This item is final sale, so please make sure it's what you want. Repeat after me. Final sale. Let's build the story once more. Rosa walks down aisle 5, where the milk and dairy products are. She picks up a carton, and out of habit from back home, she checks the expiration date carefully, turning it in her hand. It's good for another 2 weeks, so she puts it in her basket. Then, she remembers she wanted a specific brand of rice for a recipe her cousin asked for. So she stops a store employee and says, "Excuse me, where can I find the jasmine rice?" The employee points and says, It's in aisle 8, but actually, I think we're out of stock on the big bag right now. We only have the small size. Rosa says, "Oh, that's okay. The small size works too. Thank you." She walks to aisle 8, finds it, and heads toward the front of the store. Near the checkout, she notices a small bottle of wine on the shelf, a gift for her cousin's birthday dinner. But as she picks it up, the cashier says, "Can I see your ID, please?" Rosa, a little surprised, but ready this time, reaches into her purse and says, "Yes, of course. Here you go." The cashier checks it and says, "Thank you. You're all set." Finally, Rosa notices a small clearance sign near the exit with a discounted candle and a sticker that says, "Final Sale." She reads it, understands exactly what it means now, and decides, yes, she wants it anyway. Because it's beautiful and cheap, let's shadow the key lines from this scene. "Excuse me, where can I find the jasmine rice?" "Now you. We're out of stock on the big bag." "Now you. Can I see your ID, please?" "Now you. Yes, of course. Here you go." "Now you. This item is final sale. Now you." You're doing amazing. And I mean that specifically, your shadowing rhythm is getting faster and smoother every single time we practice. And that's exactly the muscle memory we're building today. Now, here's something I want you to really sit with for a moment. Rosa walked into that store nervous, worried mostly about one thing: that broken jacket and the fear of not knowing how to explain the problem. But by the end of her trip, she had handled 6 different situations: a return, a sale question, a payment question, a signature request, an out-of-stock item, an ID check, and a final sale purchase. 6 small conversations, each one only a few seconds long. But together, they represent something much bigger. The difference between feeling like a stranger in a new country and feeling like someone who can simply live her life day by day without fear. That feeling, that quiet confidence, that's what we're building here together. One video, one situation, one sentence at a time. And I want you to know something important. You don't need perfect grammar to do this. Rosa didn't speak with perfect grammar tonight. Some of her sentences were short. Some were simple. But every single one of them worked because clear, simple English, spoken with confidence, is far more powerful than perfect English spoken with fear. Now, before we move into our next part of the lesson, a fast-paced practice round where we'll drill these patterns until they become automatic. Use these. I want you to do one more thing with me. Let's do a quick review round together, going back through everything we've learned so far, but faster. This time, like a real conversation. I'll say the situation. You say the phrase out loud, immediately, without translating. Ready? You need the paper that shows what you bought. That's receipt. Very good. You want your money back. That's refund. You want a different size instead of money. That's exchange. The price is lower than usual. That's on sale. You ask how someone will pay. That's cash or card. You need to write your name on a screen or paper. That's sign here. The store doesn't have the item anymore. That's out of stock. The last safe day to use a product. That's expiration date. And the item can't be returned once purchased. That's final sale. Excellent work. Genuinely excellent. If you said even half of those out loud correctly without stopping the video, you are proving something very important to yourself right now, that you already know more English than you thought you did. 15 minutes ago. This is exactly what I want you to feel every single time you finish one of our videos. Let's pick up exactly where we left off. Rosa just finished her shopping trip. Feeling proud, feeling capable, and now I want to take you into the next part of our lesson. The part where we turn everything you've learned into fast, automatic reflexes, because knowing a phrase is one thing. Being able to say it instantly, without thinking, without translating first, that's a completely different skill, and that's exactly what we're going to build right now. Before that, though, let me tell you what happens the very next day for Rosa, because her survival English journey doesn't end at one supermarket. It's a Wednesday morning, and Rosa needs to run 3 quick errands before her English class in the afternoon. She needs to buy a birthday card, pick up a prescription refill at the pharmacy counter inside the store, and ask about a coupon she saw online but forgot to print. 3 small tasks. 3 small chances to practice. Let's walk through them together, quickly, because I want you to see how these same patterns repeat again and again in daily American life. Rosa walks into a small drugstore near her apartment. She's a little more relaxed today because yesterday went well, and that confidence is already showing on her face. She walks up to an employee stocking shelves and says, "Excuse me, where can I find birthday cards?" The employee smiles and points. "Right over there, aisle 2, next to the wrapping paper." Rosa says, "Thank you so much." She finds a card quickly, a simple one with flowers, and heads to the pharmacy counter in the back. At the pharmacy counter, a pharmacist looks up and says, "Hi, how can I help you?" Rosa says, "Hi, I'm here to pick up a prescription refill under the name Rosa Martinez." The pharmacist types on the computer and says, "Okay, let me check. Yes, I have it here. Can I see your ID and confirm your date of birth?" Rosa answers clearly, "Yes, here's my ID," and gives her date of birth. The pharmacist nods and says, "Perfect. That'll be $12 with your insurance copay. Cash or card?" Rosa says, "Card, please," and taps her card on the small machine. Notice something here. Cash or card, sign here, ID. These same phrases from yesterday's grocery trip are appearing again today in a completely different place, the pharmacy. This is exactly why we teach you real patterns, not just single situations. Once you learn a phrase like cash or card, you will use it at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, at the gas station, at the coffee shop, everywhere for the rest of your life in this country. Before Rosa leaves, she remembers the coupon question, so she asks the pharmacist, "Mods, Newbus Mahaza Kufaponda Dia Korea could be Masas. One more question. Do you have a discount for seniors? Or is there any coupon I can use for this? The pharmacist says, we don't have a senior discount here, but you can check. With the cashier up front, sometimes they have weekly coupons at the register. Rosa thanks her and walks to the front. At the register, she asks the cashier, "Excuse me, do you have any coupons for this week?" The cashier hands her a small paper booklet and says, "Yes, here's this week's coupon book. Feel free to take one." Rosa smiles, genuinely thankful, because just 2 days ago, she wouldn't have known how to ask that question at all. Let's shadow these new lines together. Excuse me, where can I find birthday cards? Now you. I'm here to pick up a prescription refill. Now you. Can I see your ID and confirm your date of birth? Now you. Do you have a discount for seniors? Now you. Do you have any coupons for this week? Now you. Beautiful work. Your shadowing is getting faster, and I feel your confidence growing through this screen, even though I can't see you, because the rhythm of your practice. Because the rhythm of your practice tells me everything. Now, this is where we move into what I call the pattern drill. And this is one of the most powerful parts of this entire lesson, because instead of learning one sentence at a time, we're going to learn 5 flexible sentence patterns. Patterns you can use with hundreds, even thousands of different words. Think of these patterns as empty frames, like a picture frame, where you can put any picture you want inside. Once you master the frame, you can fill it with anything, forever. Our first pattern is, can I? This pattern is for asking permission or asking politely if something is possible. Listen carefully and then shadow me on each one. Can I return this? Can I get a refund? Can I exchange this for a different color? Can I use this coupon? Can I pay with a card? Can I get a receipt, please? Can I speak to a manager? Now, let's go faster. I'll say the situation. You build the sentence with can I. You want to return something. Can I return this? You want a refund. Can I get a refund? You want to use a coupon. Can I use this coupon? You want to speak to a manager. Can I speak to a manager? Excellent. Do you feel how flexible this one small pattern is? 2 words. Can I? And suddenly you can ask almost anything politely in any store in America. Our second pattern is I need. This pattern is for stating what you require clearly and directly without sounding rude. Listen. And shadow me. I need a refund. I need a bigger size. I need help finding something. I need a receipt for this. I need to speak to someone about my order. I need a bag, please. I need directions to aisle 6. Let's go faster now. You need help. I need help. You need a bigger size. I need a bigger size. You need a receipt. I need a receipt. You need directions. I need directions to aisle 6. Wonderful. Notice how natural and confident this pattern sounds without being rude at all. I need is direct, but polite, and Americans use it constantly in everyday situations. Our third pattern is keep. Where is or where can I find? This pattern helps you locate anything inside a store quickly without wandering around lost for 20 minutes. Listen and shadow. Where is the checkout? Where is the pharmacy counter? Where can I find the bread? Where can I find the customer service desk? Where is the exit? Where is the restroom? Where can I find size medium? Faster, now. You're looking for the checkout. Where is the checkout? You're looking for bread. Where can I find the bread? You're looking for the restroom? You need customer service. Where can I find the customer service desk? Perfect. This pattern alone can save you so much time and stress in a large, unfamiliar store. Our fourth pattern is, how much does cost? Or simply, how much is? This is essential for shopping because prices aren't always clearly marked, especially at farmers markets, small shops, or when there's a discount involved. VOD. Listen and shadow. How much does this cost? How much is this jacket? How much is the shipping? How much does a refill cost? How much is it with the discount? How much do I owe? Let's go faster. You want to know the price of a jacket. How much is this jacket? You want to know about shipping. How much is the shipping? You want to know your total. How much do I owe? You want to know the discounted price. How much is it with the discount? Beautiful. And notice, this small pattern removes the awkward moment of just pointing at something and hoping the person understands you. Our fifth and final pattern for today is, do you have? This is for asking whether a store carries a particular item, size, color, or service. Listen and shadow. Do you have this in a bigger size? Do you have this in blue? Do you have any discounts today? Do you have gluten-free bread? Do you have a bathroom for customers? Do you have this in stock? Faster now. You want a bigger size. Do you have this in a bigger size? You want a different color. Do you have this in blue? You want to know about discounts. Do you have any discounts today? You need gluten-free bread. Do you have gluten-free bread? Excellent work. Truly excellent. Now, let's combine all 5 patterns into one final rapid-fire round, mixing them together the way a real conversation actually moves, jumping from one type of question to another. I'll describe a quick situation, and you respond with a full sentence, as fast as you can, out loud. Ready? You want to return a shirt. Go. Can I return this shirt? You're looking for the milk. Go. Where can I find the milk? You need a bigger size in shoes. Go. Do you have this in a bigger size? You want to know the price of a lamp. Go. How much is this lamp? You need help carrying something to your car. Go. I need help carrying this to my car. You want to use a coupon at checkout. Go. Can I use this coupon? You're looking for the pharmacy. Go. Where is the pharmacy? How did that feel? I want you to notice something important right now. A few minutes ago, some of those sentences might have taken you 5, 6, 7 seconds to build in your head. Right now, they're coming out faster, more naturally, because your brain isn't translating anymore. It's simply reaching for the pattern and filling in the picture. This is exactly what real fluency feels like in its earliest stage, and you're already there right now in this video. Let's go back to Rosa for just a moment, because I want to show you one more small but very real moment from her week, one that I think many of you will relate to deeply. It's Thursday afternoon, and Rosa is at the checkout line at the grocery store again, buying just a few things: bananas, bread, and a bottle of juice. The line is a little long, and the cashier, a different one today, is speaking quickly, clearly in a hurry. She scans Rosa's items and says fast, almost in one breath, "Okay, your total is $12.45. Kashor card doy you haverward scarred today?" Rosa freezes for half a second. It's too fast. Too many words stuck together. Her old instinct, the fear instinct, starts to rise in her chest. But this time, Rosa remembers something we teach here on this channel. Every single day, you are allowed to ask someone to slow down or repeat. This is not embarrassing. This is not a failure. This is a completely normal, completely acceptable part of communication, even for native speakers. So Rosa takes a breath and says, calmly, "Sorry, could you repeat that a little slower, please?" The cashier smiles, slows down, and says, "No problem. Your total is $12.45, cash or card. And do you have a rewards card with us?" Rosa relaxes immediately and answers each part clearly. "Card, please." "And no, I don't have a rewards card yet. How do I sign up?" The cashier says, "Oh, easy. Just give me your phone number and I'll set one up for you right now." Rosa gives her number, gets her rewards card started, pays, and walks out of the store with a small, quiet smile on her face. I want you to really absorb this moment, because it's not about grammar. It's not about vocabulary lists. It's about one simple, powerful sentence. "Could you repeat that a little slower, please?" This sentence alone can save you from so much stress, so much confusion in every single English-speaking situation you'll ever face, not just shopping. Let's shadow it together 3 times, slowly, until it becomes automatic. "Could you repeat that a little slower, please?" Again, "Could you repeat that a little slower, please?" One more time. "Could you repeat that a little slower, please?" I want you to promise me something, right now, out loud. Say this with me. The next time I don't understand something in English, I will ask them to repeat it, instead of staying silent. Say it out loud, in your own words if you'd like. This is not just an English lesson today. This is a small shift in how you handle fear, and that shift matters more than any vocabulary word we've taught you so far. Now, let's take a short pause here, and I want to do something different. A quick, honest check-in with you. On a scale from 1 to 5, how confident do you feel right now about walking into a store and handling a return, or a question about price, or a checkout conversation, compared to when this video started? I want you to actually answer that out loud with a number. And whatever number you said, I want you to remember it because by the end of this video, we're going to ask that question one more time. And I have a feeling your number is going to be higher. Let's continue Rosa's week just a little further. Because there's one more situation I want to walk through with you. One that combines almost everything we've learned today into a single, slightly more complex conversation. The kind of real-life moment where multiple small challenges happen back to back and you need to stay calm through all of them. It's Friday, the end of Rosa's first full week of practicing her survival English. On purpose, intentionally, the way you're doing right now. She goes to a large department store to buy new sheets for her bed because her old ones are worn out. She finds a set she likes, checks the price tag, and notices it says $40, but there's a small yellow sticker on the shelf that says, additional 20% off, today only. She's not sure if that applies to this exact item, so she decides to ask, using one of our patterns from earlier. She finds an employee and says, "Excuse me, does this discount apply to these sheets too?" The employee checks and says, "Let me see. Yes, actually it does. So with the extra 20% off, it'll be $32. Rosa smiles and says, "Great, I'll take these then." At the checkout, a new cashier, a young man, scans the item, and something unexpected happens. The discount doesn't show up on the screen correctly. He looks confused and says, It's not applying the discount automatically. Let me check with my manager real quick." Rosa waits patiently, and here's something beautiful. Instead of panicking or assuming she did something wrong, she simply says, calmly, "No problem. Take your time." The manager comes over, fixes the price manually, and the cashier says, "Sorry about that. All fixed now. Your total is $32 with tax. Cash or card?" Rosa says, "Card, please," pays, and as she's leaving, the cashier says, "Thanks for your patience. Have a great weekend." Rosa smiles and says, "You too. Thank you." Let's shadow this final scene together. "Excuse me, does this discount apply to these sheets too?" Now you. It's not applying the discount automatically. Now you. "No problem. Take your time." Now you. "Sorry about that. All fixed now." Now you. "Thanks for your patience." Now you. Excellent. Truly excellent. And notice something important here, something I really want you to remember. Rosa didn't just learn vocabulary today. She learned patience. She learned that mistakes happen, delays happen, confusion happens. Even to native speakers in their own stores. And the right response is never panic. It's calm, simple, clear English, one sentence at a time. We're in the final stretch of today's lesson. And this is where everything comes together. The story, the vocabulary, the patterns, all of it, woven into one final review that will lock this knowledge into your memory for good. Let's finish Rosa's week together, and then let's finish building your confidence, piece by piece, all the way to the end. It's Saturday morning now, the last day of Rosa's first intentional week of practicing survival English, and something interesting happens. Something that shows just how far she's come in only a few days. Her cousin, the one whose birthday is coming up, asks her to go pick up a few last-minute things for the birthday dinner. Candles, a bag of ice, and a return of a broken blender they'd bought earlier that week. Notice something here. Rosa is now doing 3 tasks, 3 different types of conversations in one single trip. One single run, and she's doing it completely alone, without asking her cousin to come with her, without feeling that old fear in her stomach. She walks into the store, finds the candles quickly using the phrase she's now completely comfortable with. "Excuse me, where can I find birthday candles?" Gets directed to aisle 12. Grabs a bag of ice from the freezer section near the front, and then walks to the customer service counter with the broken blender in a bag. An employee at the counter, an older woman with kind eyes, says, "Hi there, how can I help you today?" Rosa places the blender on the counter and says, clearly, confidently, without any hesitation in her voice, "Hi, I bought this blender last week, but it's not working properly. The motor makes a strange noise and it won't blend anything. I'd like a refund, please, and I have my receipt right here." The employee checks the receipt, checks the item, and says, "Okay, that's no problem at all. It's well within our return policy. Would you like the refund back to your card or store credit?" Rosa answers immediately, "Back to my card, please." The employee processes it and says, "All done. You'll see that back on your card in a few business days. Anything else I can help you with?" Rosa smiles and says, "No, that's everything. Thank you so much for your help." The employee says, "Of course, have a wonderful day, and happy early birthday to whoever this dinner is for," and Rosa laughs, genuinely, easily, and says, "Thank you, I will." Do you hear the difference? Compare this conversation to the one from the very beginning of this video, when Rosa first walked into that store on Tuesday evening. Nervous, unsure, her heart racing over a simple return. Now, just a few days later, she's handling a full conversation, explaining a problem, requesting a specific solution, confirming payment details, and even sharing a small joke with a stranger. All in clear, natural English. That transformation didn't happen because Rosa suddenly became a genius, or because she studied grammar books for hours. It happened because she practiced real situations, real phrases, real patterns. Exactly the way we've been practicing together today. Let's shadow this final scene together one more time, because repetition is exactly what turns knowledge into instinct. "I'd like a refund, please, and I have my receipt right here." Now you. Would you like the refund back to your card or store credit? Now you. Back to my card, please. Now you. Anything else I can help you with? Now you. No, that's everything. Thank you so much for your help. Now you. Beautiful. Genuinely beautiful work. And I mean that specifically for you, right now, listening to this. Your pronunciation, rhythm on that last round was noticeably smoother than it was at the start of this video. And that is real, measurable progress in the span of about 20 minutes. Now, let's do our full review together, bringing everything from today's lesson into one final, complete round. This is where we lock everything in. So you leave this video not just having watched a lesson, but truly owning these words as part of your own English. Let's start with our vocabulary review. I'll describe the meaning. You say the word or phrase immediately, out loud. The small paper that shows what you bought. Receipt. Getting your money back, refund. Trading an item for a different one. Exchange. Money that stays in the store for later use. Store credit. The store's rules about bringing things back. Return policy. The small label that shows the cost, price tag. A lower price for a limited time on sale. A reduction in price. Discount. The place where you pay, checkout. The person who takes your payment, cashier. The question about how you'll pay, cash or card. Asking someone to write their name, sign here. When a store has no more of an item, out of stock. The last safe date to use something, expiration date. Identification, like a driver's license, ID. An item that can't be returned, final sale, and the long row between shelves. Aisle, 17 words and phrases, all reviewed, all connected to real situations you walked through with Rosa today. That is not a small vocabulary list memorized from a textbook. That is a living, breathing set of tools tied to real emotions, real moments, real stress, and real relief. And that is exactly why you'll remember it far longer than anything you've ever tried to memorize by simply reading a list silently. Now, let's review our 5-sentence patterns. One more time, quickly, because these patterns are truly the heart of today's lesson. The frames that let you build thousands of sentences on your own for the rest of your life. Can I? For asking permission politely. I need. For stating what you require, directly but respectfully. Where is or where can I find? For locating anything you need. How much does cost or how much is? For asking about price. And do you have? For asking whether something is available. 5 simple frames. 5 tools that will follow you into every single store, every pharmacy, every checkout counter, for as long as you live in this country. I want to leave you with one more thought before we close today's lesson, and I want you to really listen to this. Puruduas, because I believe it with my whole heart. The goal of this channel was never to make you sound exactly like a native speaker. That's not real life, and honestly, it's not even necessary. The real goal, the goal we're working toward together, video after video, is much simpler and much more powerful than that. The goal is that the next time you walk into a store and something goes wrong, a broken item, a confusing discount, a fast-talking cashier, you don't freeze. You don't feel that tight fear in your chest that Rosa felt on that very first Tuesday evening. Instead, you take a breath and you reach for the words, because now they're already there, waiting for you, ready to be used. Remember that number you gave me earlier when I asked how confident you felt on a scale from 1 to 5. I want you to ask yourself that same question again. Right now, at the end of this lesson, how confident do you feel now about walking into a store, returning something, asking about a price, or handling a fast checkout conversation in English? I have a strong feeling that number went up, even just a little, and even a small increase. My friend, repeated day after day, video after video, is exactly how real, lasting fluency gets built. Not overnight, not through one magic lesson, but through small, steady, honest practice, exactly like what we did together today before we say goodbye. For today, let's do one final, full-speed shadowing round, combining phrases from the entire lesson, one after another, quickly, the way a real busy day at the store might actually feel. Ready? Here we go, fast. Can I get a refund? I need help finding the bread. Where is the checkout? How much is this jacket? Do you have this in a bigger size? Cash or card? Can you sign here, please? I have my receipt right here. Could you repeat that a little slower, please? Excuse me, where can I find the pharmacy? This item is on sale. Is this out of stock? Can I see your ID? Thanks for your patience. Have a great day. Incredible work today. Truly, genuinely incredible. And if you followed along, out loud, through this entire lesson, not just watching silently, but actually speaking, shadowing, answering my questions with your own voice, then you have done something today that most English learners never do. You practiced English the way it's actually used, in real situations, with real emotions, real stress, and real relief. And that is worth so much more than an hour spent copying grammar rules into a notebook. Rosa's story doesn't end here, of course. Her life in America is just beginning, and just like her, your journey with English is just beginning too. One video, one situation, one honest attempt at a time. Next time here on EFL USA, we're going to step into a completely different kind of survival situation. English for work and job interviews, where we'll walk through the exact questions employers ask, the exact way to talk about your experience, even when you're nervous, and how to handle that terrifying moment when someone asks, "So, tell me about yourself." If today's lesson helped you even a little, if you felt that small shift in confidence I talked about earlier, please hit subscribe, tap that bell icon, and come back for that next lesson, because the more situations we practice together, the smaller that fear becomes and the bigger your real spoken English becomes. Dix, one honest word at a time. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'm Emma from EFL USA, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, speak boldly, and remember, every single mistake you make on the way to fluency is simply proof that you're actually trying. And that My friend is something to be proud of.